Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot, rune, and oracle reading for the fourth quarter of 2025. This reading will cover October, November, and December. So the rune that's coming out for you is called Suilo. This is the rune of the sun, and this is a really great omen, guys. Immediately, I'm picking up on messages of love. So a lot of you guys, if you are already in a relationship, there could be some very happy memories there. There could be travel with your loved one. There can be upgrades to commitment and just sweet memories that you will take with you for the rest of your life. And if you are currently calling in and manifesting your person, we are seeing that's taking place this quarter, literally. So there's a lot of love in the air generally. And another thing is, if you are with somebody or talking to somebody, getting to know somebody, and it feels really aligned, there's a lot of happiness there, there's simplicity, it brings you peace and a regulated nervous system, you know? There's so much potential here for this person to end up marrying you if you're not married already, okay? Another thing is, if any of you guys are dealing with anything legal, any legal issue, or you're applying for something, or you're trying out for something, and you're just hoping that it'll work out, maybe you are trying to apply for a mortgage, a loan, something, we do see that going successfully as well. So there's some really good energies here, like extremely good, with the Suilo rune coming out. You have come to the edge in reverse as your Wisdom of the Oracle card. So I definitely, and also look at this image, right? There's this floating rock, and she's very much at the edge of what is known. There's just this tiny space that she's aware of, that she knows, that she's familiar with, and she is sort of releasing these petals that are shaped like hearts, and perhaps she's about to walk off of that edge and head directly into the unknown. So your message for a lot of you guys is to be open-minded about doing things that are out of your comfort zone and totally new to you. Opening your heart, letting someone else in. I love Sagittarius energy so much because you guys are always just doing stuff. Like, you're kind of just, whenever I think of Sagittarius, I think of somebody who, like the type of friend who I call up, I'm like, oh, how are you doing? They're like, oh, I just traveled to China and now I'm in India and this place and that place. And oh yeah, like I broke my leg and tomorrow I'm getting married. And it's just always something crazy. Like you just be doing stuff, Sagittarius. So it's very interesting that you have a card here that's saying, but go out of your comfort zone. Because it's like, I feel like you guys always do this crazy stuff, but then more simple things that most people are comfortable with and perhaps you don't do. You're not like the other girls, you're not like the other boys, you know? And so there's something here that's asking you to expand your territory, expand your horizon, and do something that perhaps is unknown to you. Okay, I don't know why I'm really getting an image here as I say these words of a lot of you opening your heart up to somebody else. So I don't know if that's something that's out of your comfort zone, but that's what we're seeing. We have the curse coming out upright. We all have curses. We all have generational curses, and it's up to us to break and heal from those patterns, those curses. Now, our ancestors also give us amazing things that they worked very hard for in their lifetimes that comes naturally to us in our lifetimes. So it's very important that we honor our ancestors in that way. But there's other areas of life that perhaps there's a repetitive struggle. Look back, if you can, into the previous generations of your family and understand what needs to be released for you. For example, okay, in my family history, there is a pattern where the children kind of just have to raise themselves. And this goes back several generations on both sides. These stories, these things happening where children have to raise themselves, right? So if anybody from my generation wants to break that curse, when they have their own children, they would want to be a very attentive parent and, you know, just sort of heal and forgive the parts within them to change that narrative, you know? What is your story? Another example could be like generational poverty, or you go back and it's like everybody has these toxic, abusive, neglectful relationships, or everybody has a drinking problem, a gambling problem. You know, every family has their curses, has their history. And there's something about this fourth quarter of 2025 for you, Sagittarius, where you're really reflecting on that. And a lot of you guys are being called to illuminate and release those curses from your own life, okay? And I am wondering if this is tied into matters of the heart and the heart chakra. Like, for example, if your parents had an unhealthy relationship and their parents had an unhealthy relationship, and now you find yourself sort of opening your heart up, and that's probably why it might feel uncomfortable for you to let somebody else in on a deep level, or maybe you've been hurt so many times in the past because you were repeating that same pattern. This is an opportunity for you to release that pattern and show up differently, okay? So, a lot of curses are being lifted this quarter for you guys. We're going to pull 9 cards, 3 rows of 3. Each row is going to loosely represent one of the months, and together it'll paint a picture of this quarter overall. So diving into October, first card out, we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, there's something here about the repetitive nature of your routine recently. Some of you guys, okay, I'm getting 2 completely different opposite sides of the spectrum, where some of you guys may have so much work you've been doing that it's starting to feel exhausting and you just need a break. For others of you, you've been really having a lot of breaks, vacation time, not working, etc. And it's like you're craving just going back to that routine, you know? So it's completely different for everybody depending on who's watching. But I feel like you might fall on either side of those coins, where you just have so much responsibility that you just need to lighten your load, or you've been living a very responsibility-free lifestyle and you're just looking for that structure again. So I am seeing that. We have the Hanged Man coming out upright, seeing life from a different perspective. I'm seeing epiphanies coming through for you in October. And like I said, there's a lot here with your family. Okay, forgiving your parents for your childhood. We all have some childhood issues, I think. I think everybody has some issues with their family, with their childhood. And I am seeing you reflecting on that this month for whatever reason. As you forgive your parents, as you release any energy cords of heaviness, resentment when it comes to your family, I don't know how to describe it. It really does open you up to love, like healthy, beautiful love. And a lot of you guys, you may have broken some karmic cycles when it comes to attracting negative love or negative experiences in matters of the heart. This could even be with friendships as well. And now it's like you're integrating, you're seeing things from a new perspective. And it's like, even if there are things you don't like about your parents, about your family, you're releasing the attachment to try to change who they are and creating enough space versus closeness to where you can have a healthy connection with them without getting angry every time you think about them or see them. Does that make sense? So there's massive healing going on there. We have the Ace of Cups. Like I was saying, guys, there seems to be love in the air for a lot of you. This is a brand new, abundant connection. Okay, or a brand new start in existing relationships. Like if you're already like married and have your partner, your life partner, this could be a brand new fresh start within your relationship. For example, this could be embarking on the journey of parenthood together. This could be planning some sort of crazy, amazing road trip. This could be so many different things, you know, starting a business together. It feels like you're sort of, there's something here about the initial seeds of creating your own family or expanding your family that is present in October. And these are the very early initial seeds is what I'm seeing. So it might not be quite apparent to you yet, but whatever this beautiful new love or new loving energy is, there's an element here of abundance. Okay, from connecting with this person or from embarking on this journey, it's going to lead to so many more blessings and developments. Like, let's just say this is a new relationship that you're really falling in love with. This person may have a great community already, or different hobbies, ideas already that they introduce into your life. And then as a response of them introducing that into your life, you come up with some amazing ideas or meet new people or whatever. And it's like a back and forth, give and take abundance that's shared between you guys. And it's like together you can create so much more than what you can create on your own. And I feel like that's exactly what relationships and friendships are supposed to be. When you're in that healthy mindset, it's like you're not competing with other people. The people in your life are not competing with other people in your life. Really, the competition exists when it comes to competing with the peace that you feel when you're alone. You know, it's like, am I somehow happier, more inspired, more energetic when I am with this person and with what they offer me than when I'm completely alone? And I feel like that's why it's so important for people to at least once in their life spend some quality time to themselves and just being an adult on their own, whether that's living alone or just being single for a while. I think it's very important. And listen, controversial opinion, and I'm sorry if this applies to you, I think some of the relationships that I see having the most toxic patterns tends to be people who met when they were teenagers and they immediately committed and like never had an adult life by themselves. However, flipping that around, because that applies to me as well, but flipping that around, it's a little bit different when you sort of create space in that relationship for both people to have that experience on their own. So that's where I stand with my connection that's like that. And with my friendships that I've had since a very young age, it's like we all had space away from each other. We all had time apart from each other, like literally in life, where we lived, what we do, etc. And it made it super healthy. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. The moral of the story is there's definitely love in October. Moving on into November, we have the Three of Swords in reverse. Now, this is actually a really positive card in reverse because it's pulling the swords out of the heart. And you know what, Sagittarius, I'm going to be so for real with you. Something I'm seeing that's so beautiful this quarter is that there's a lot of forgiveness and healing taking place. You know, even people, this could be exes, old friends from your past who maybe you didn't have the best falling out with. You're even releasing that, or there could, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could happen where you connect with those people and like so many years may have went by and it's like, you know, just burying the hatchet and neutralizing the energy once again. That's what it feels like. You're neutralizing the past, which is just so beautiful. And by that, I mean, like, if any part of the past, the stories that you've lived through, gets you heated, gets you invigorated, gets you angry or sad, it's like you're neutralizing it so that way it's just a story that exists in your head. You know, and telling somebody the story of you and what you went through feels more so like reciting the plot line of a movie than something so triggering and personal now. You know what I mean? And it's not something that you ruminate on and go over day by day. It's just there in the back of your mind, and when it's relevant, it comes up. So I am seeing that a lot of mental health healing and neutralizing your past experiences, which creates more space in the present moment for loving moments. We have the Eight of Wands as the center of your spread, guys. This is my favorite card in the tarot because it shows so many, like pretty much all areas of your life moving forward and taking off simultaneously. You know, this is momentum. Seeds that you planted in the past, things that you wanted to manifest in the past are all sort of raining down on you, moving forward, and just there's really positive energy here. We have the Hierophant in reverse right underneath that Ace of Cups. Maybe that's why I was going off on this tangent. Okay, Hierophant in reverse shows taking the non-traditional path, the non-traditional approach here. And instead of following what's traditional, you open yourself up to listening to your own intuitive calling. And I think, you know, the example of teenage love growing into adult love, it's a perfect example for that. Because what I see a lot of people in that predicament do is like get married very early on, have kids very early on, and never, ever, ever spend time apart from each other. And, you know, the non-traditional approach would be like, even if you are married to this person, even if you are together, it's like, what if we experienced living apart briefly? What if we experienced not spending so much time together? We focused on our own developments. I don't know why I keep going back to that example, but this can be applied to literally any example in life. Like even with career, it's like taking the non-traditional career approach, or just, I don't know, listening to your own intuition, listening to your own gut feelings and advice, as opposed to what other people around you are saying. It's going to be very important for you in November. Another thing that I'm seeing here is there could be something here about rejecting tradition in the name of relinquishing these generational wounds and curses. Like, for example, let's just say you come from a very religious family, and you may reject that religion because it's something that doesn't resonate with you. And maybe like growing up in your religious community, there was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of negative experiences. And it's like now you may see a history of that in your family tree, right? People being corrupted by this one particular religion and letting it turn them into awful people. It's like you're the one breaking that curse and choosing differently. And you do that by thinking for yourself. So I'm seeing that will also be playing into your November. Let's move on into December. We have the Four of Cups in reverse here. The Devil upright. Okay, energy sharply changing in December. Five of Cups. Wow. These cards aren't super great in December, so I want to understand that. Okay. Five of Cups can show mourning. It can show loss. And right next to that Five of Cups, it's like a focus on the past and what went wrong, which is exactly the theme of this reading. It's like your theme is to not replay the past over and over and over again and hold on to that resentment. The theme is to come to the edge of what is comfortable and known for you and take the leap of faith away from that. Okay, take the leap of faith to create new stories, new traditions, new memories, new types of experiences for yourself, okay? So I do feel like for some Sagittarius people this quarter, if you do not follow that advice and that guideline, there could be some regret and devastation, okay? It's like, for example, like let's just say you have a beautiful new relationship in your life, but it's like you're afraid to open your heart up. It's like if you let that fear speak for you and you say, you know what, I'm not going to commit to you, like we can keep seeing each other, but like that person's going to walk away. That's what I'm seeing. With the Devil card here, it's like there's something about this quarter that is asking you to face your fears, face your generational curses, okay? And do better, expand beyond that, because it's going to be quite limiting. There's a real danger here for some Sagittarius energy people to push away this Ace of Cups. Push it away or sabotage it by going back to the old familiar comfort zone. And we see this all the time. Don't be that person though. I don't know why the example that's coming to my mind is Ned Fulmer from the Try Guy, or formerly from the Try Guys, where it's like this man had everything. He just started his own company with his best friends, had a happy wife. They just gave birth to a brand new baby, their first baby. And it's like, what does he do? He goes out and has an affair while all this exciting life things are happening. If that's not self-sabotage, then I don't know what is. Okay, but it's like, that's the thing. It's like these new energies can be scary. Okay, it can be, it's like when life finally hands you the thing that you've been asking for time and time again. I don't know why. Some people just get scared that they're going to lose that, and then they act out, and they act out in a way where they ensure that they will lose that. Does that make sense? If you have a pattern of doing that, a pattern of self-sabotage, or this is abandonment fears, abandonment wounds, really. Like, this feels so good, I'm afraid that it's not always going to be available. So I'm just going to sabotage this so that way it leaves, or I leave before it leaves. Because that makes me feel in control. I know what's happening when I self-sabotage. Sagittarius, that's going to be your biggest challenge this quarter. I'm telling you, if you can overcome that challenge though, this is like everything you've ever asked for is coming in, I'm seeing happy family, happy home. happy love life, okay? It really is beautiful. And lots of wins here. It's just going to be very important for you to stay focused on the beautiful new developments and appreciate that for what it is. And don't get into your head and don't let your fears control you. In the month of December, I'm also wondering if anyone around you is stuck in their own devil energy, which is basically like anything that is karmic, you know, addictions, negative patterns, their own curses. You know, you might see that around you, and that could make you upset because the 5 of Cups does come out next to that. Like, for example, if you see a family member fall back into addiction, or you see a friend making really negative life choices, it can be very sad. So that could happen for some people, or that could be happening for some people. I don't predict things like that. It would kind of already be happening at the time that you are watching this, probably. And one of your challenges for this quarter is to detach yourself from the negative feelings you have there, like the resentment, the disappointment towards that person for making those choices, you know, all of that. There's something about this quarter, it's like spiritual mastery by releasing and removing. Everybody has their own demons, basically. Everybody has their own curses. That's their own dharma to deal with. It's not your job to heal people, right? There's something about this quarter that's teaching you how to acknowledge that and not let it upset you so much, because you also have your own issues to heal. And I feel like past you, Sagittarius, may have really put a lot of effort in trying to help other people heal, trying to be like a people pleaser, trying to help people see how they can improve their lives, but you were using that as a distraction to heal from your own patterns and curses. So it's like that is what is ending I was about to say December. I meant to say the 4th quarter, but I guess December specifically too. You are detaching, allowing other people to figure out their own problems, walk their own path, and you really focusing in on the curses, the energies, the karma that you need to resolve within yourself, you know, that you need to get right within your own heart. But yeah, this quarter is very beautiful. There's a lot of positive developments for sure. And don't get scared by these final 2 cards, because you know what? There's certain cards that come out in the tarot, such as Aces and this 8 of Wands, where it's like it kind of just shines light on all the negative cards around it. And also you literally have Suilo, the Sun rune, which shines light on all the negative cards around it. So these 2 cards aren't as scary as they look this quarter. This could be somebody else's demons that they're facing. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like all things in life contrast equally. So because there's so much love and success and abundance here, it's like, yeah, those fears, those doubts in your head of like, what if this goes away, may get louder. And it's important for you to maintain peace and to release those fears and not let them rule over you. Acknowledge them as a natural part of the journey, you know? Like people who become new parents, suddenly you have all these anxieties of 100 million ways in which things can go wrong. And it's like, that's a part of the beautiful light and love of the experience you are facing. But you don't have to let those thoughts consume you. And there's something here about just breathing through that as well. Sagittarius, very cool quarter ahead for you. Thank you for watching. Definitely watch for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this quarter ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there, shamanic life transformation coaching sessions there, as well as my online tarot reading course, so check it out. Bye-bye.